The Tour de France is the biggest bike race in the world, but behind the carbon frames, there's a whole lot of carbon footprint. So here's the question: can the most iconic cycling event on Earth also become its greenest? Is the Tour de France truly sustainable? We're going to go and find out today at the Caen time trial. We're heading down on sustainable transport on our bikes. The Tour de France came to Caen in 2025, my town, my local roads, and just for one day it became the centre of the cycling universe. Everything changed. The quiet roads were closed, the cafes overflowed, barriers lined the pavements, and the unmistakable hum of something big echoed through the air. The crowds, the colours, the helicopters, it's electric. The Tour isn't just a race, it's a rolling theatre, an entire travelling world with its own rhythm, its own language and its own soundtrack. We did our bit too, rode out early to the town centre, cheered at the roadside, soaked in the atmosphere. There's this buzz, like you're part of something much bigger than just a bike race. And then, just as quickly as it arrived, it was gone. The riders, the noise, the vans, the fans, packed up and moved on to the next town. Because here's the thing, we don't just love the Tour for its speed, or its stars, or even its history. We love it because it represents something human. A rider, a bike, a road, powered by effort, not fuel. That's the magic. At its core, cycling is the most sustainable sport on the planet. No engines, no emissions, just legs, lungs and landscapes. And we want the Tour to reflect that, to be more than a moving billboard, to prove that a global sporting event watched by millions, travelling thousands of kilometres, can still lead the way in sustainability. Because if the Tour, with all its size, complexity and reach, can go green, then surely anything can. But here's the problem. On that day, Caen didn't just become a celebration of cycling, it became a mirror of the whole Tour. Thousands of vehicles, endless sponsor caravans, helicopters circling overhead, diesel generators humming behind the barriers, plastic giveaways by the handful. For a few hours, my hometown turned into a high-speed logistics hub, packed with trucks, noise and packaging, all built around an event that's supposed to be about the simplicity of the bicycle. Yes, it was exciting, but it was also exhausting. And watching it all from the sidelines, I couldn't help but wonder how much of this is really necessary. Here comes the next rider. How many people are with it? There's the rider. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4 vehicles with him. This is a contradiction, a race powered by muscle, but carried on the back of fossil fuels. Caen is my adopted town, and seeing what it took to host just one day of the Tour, well, it makes you realise how much is happening every single day across the whole country. Multiply Caen by 21 stages, and suddenly the carbon cost of this green sport looks very different. But to be fair, change is happening. Slowly, quietly, but it's there. I spotted electric team cars, fewer plastic giveaways. Some towns, including Caen, put real effort into waste sorting, shuttle buses and making cycling the best way to arrive. The Tour organisers have pledged carbon neutrality by 2030. And while it's easy to be sceptical, you also get the sense that people want this to work. The pressure is building from inside the peloton, from the fans, from the host towns who don't want to see piles of rubbish left behind. It's not just about cutting emissions, it's about rethinking the whole system. How we move, how we celebrate, and how we race. The Tour has always been about pushing limits, of endurance, of speed, of what's possible on two wheels. Maybe now it's time to push the limits in a different way, towards something cleaner, simpler, and smarter. I'd love to know what changes you noticed during the Tour this year, or any bright ideas for making the race greener. Drop them in the comments below. Because if the Tour de France can go green, if this vast, historic, wildly complex race can clean up its act, then it sends a message far beyond cycling. It says that even the biggest traditions can evolve, that you can still tell the same story, the same suffering, drama and glory without leaving a trail of waste behind. It becomes more than a race, it becomes a symbol of change, of doing things better, not just faster. The Tour will always be part of cycling's soul, but maybe now it has a new mountain to climb, one that's not marked by altitude, but by intentions. And if it gets there, the view could be even more spectacular. If you've enjoyed this alternative look at the Caen stage of the Tour de France and want to see more cycling stories with a twist, check out some of my other videos. Leave a comment below. Do you think the Tour can really go green? Or is the race just too big to change? And if you want to follow my journey, subscribe. I share the view from the road every week right here in France.